Listen, I love Nintendo about as much as Tom Brady loves his son, but can we stop pretending that the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be this revolutionary upgrade to the Switch? We're talking about Nintendo here after all. This is a company that released the Switch nearly 8 years ago and still haven't added basic features like themes, folders, or any home screen customization for that matter. It's been 8 years, Nintendo. Why does the eShop still run slower than two turtles attempting to procreate? Friend codes for friend requests? A shitty app I have to use just to join my friends' games or voice chat? Drip-fed emulation for games you own? And why can't I see how many hours I've played a game for? 100 hours or more? What the fuck does that even mean? The Switch is a great console overall, with some of the greatest games ever made, but with how little has gone into actually improving it, I struggle to see how the Switch 2 will be anything more than a refresh with better hardware. Let's take a look at some blunders that make my relationship with Nintendo look like that of a toxic ex-girlfriend. Let's get this one out of the way. Nintendo is notorious for having some of the shittiest recent console launches, except the Xbox One, that was bad. The 3DS launched at $250 with no games, except maybe Pilot Wings and Nintendogs plus Cats. Not exactly heavy hitters. Literally all I used my 3DS for at launch was Face Raiders. Nintendo went hard to fix this, and a few months later they dropped the price to $170 and released Ocarina of Time Remake. The Ambassador program was pretty cool too, so apology accepted, Nintendo. The Wii U was a great console with some of the best games Nintendo has put out. Too bad it had a terrible name, was marketed to toddlers, and completely killed all third-party support. This console also launched with nothing, except maybe Nintendo Land. That was pretty dope. Even the Switch launched cursed. Besides Breath of the Wild, there was nothing else the console could offer players, and Nintendo was greedy as fuck with the peripherals. The dock was $100, the Joy-Cons were $80, and the Pro Controller was $70. They're definitely gonna pull this shit when the Switch 2 comes out. Given that we have gotten next to no information on the 3D Mario and Mario Kart in like 8 years, it's probable these will launch with the Switch 2, but who knows? And given the track record, I'm not holding my breath. In 2015, Nintendo launched the Nintendo Creators Program, requiring content creators to share a portion of their ad revenue for using Nintendo game footage. Under this program, creators had to submit their videos for approval and could only use pre-approved games and clips. Even worse, they only received 60% of the ad revenue from individual videos featuring Nintendo content, while Nintendo claimed 40%. If creators registered their entire channel, they could retain 70% of the revenue. This was on top of the already absurd 45% cut that YouTube is taking. So say it's 2015 and you make $100 from a YouTube video about one of the greatest games ever made, Kid Icarus Uprising. Then that means out of the $100, YouTube would take 45 and Nintendo would take another 20, leaving you with $45 in revenue. And that's if you complied. If you didn't comply with the program and tried to circumnavigate it, Nintendo would copyright strike your channel and demonetize all your Nintendo videos, even ones not related to the initial incident. Just why? Why do you want less people to create content on your games? It's free marketing, Nintendo. Recognizing the backlash, Nintendo discontinued the program in December of 2018. Nintendo has a history of shitting on the community time and time again. They didn't get the moniker Nintendo Ninjas for nothing. These guys work fast and mercilessly. Some of these I can understand. In October of this year, Nintendo reportedly succeeded in shutting down Ryujinx, a popular Nintendo Switch emulator. I mean, this is an emulator for their console. Obviously, they don't want people not buying the Switch and its games, so I get it. In 2021, Nintendo won a $2.1 million lawsuit against the owner of ROM Universe, a site distributing pirated Nintendo games. I kinda get this one, but like, come on Nintendo, these games haven't been available for decades, and they cost hundreds of dollars online. You aren't even selling them anymore. I just want to be able to play Pokemon Soul Silver without having to sell my left testicle. Please, Nintendo. Console modders and ROM sites are legitimately ripping off Nintendo's product and making it possible for people to exploit the console and pirate their games. But I feel like they take it way too far in other instances. In 2023, Point Crow released a multiplayer mod for Breath of the Wild that broke the internet. People were having tons of fun with it because who wouldn't? It's a multiplayer version of one of the greatest games of all time. Nintendo's response? Shut down the mod and demonetize Point Crow's entire channel, even the videos that have nothing to do with the mod. Where it gets really bad is Nintendo's complete and utter destruction of any community organization. In 2020, the company issued a cease and desist order to the Big House, a long-standing Super Smash Bros. Tournament, due to the use of a mod enabling online play for Super Smash Bros. Melee during COVID. It didn't even alter anything. It just let people connect during one of the most isolated times in human history. Bad Nintendo. Bad. In November 2022, the organizers of the Smash World Tournament announced cancellations for both the upcoming championships and the 2023 tour. This decision came after Nintendo informed them, without prior warning, that they could no longer operate. The cancellation affected over 6,400 live event locations worldwide and more than 325,000 in-person entrants, making Smash World Tour one of the largest esport tours in history. This really sucked. I think the worst of all the community destroying things that Nintendo has done is take down fan games. Nintendo fucking hates fan games. Seriously, some of these were amazing, like Pokemon Uranium and another Metroid 2 remake. Pair this to Sega. Whitehead was a developer that was able to get Sonic CD working on the iPhone back in 2009. He ended up working on Sonic Mania, which is in my opinion the greatest 2D Sonic game ever made. It's really disappointing how protective Nintendo is when it comes to their games and characters, because this is probably one of the most passionate communities in gaming. I am definitely never getting sponsored by Nintendo. If you made it to the end of this video, comment Sega does what Nintendo don't. Don't forget to hit all those important buttons, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace!